This is my electric fence set up to keep critters out of the garden. Let's get in the garden, happy dog. Hey, buddy. Hey, boy. Get the boy. Yeah. Good boy. Happy, happy, happy. Happy, happy boy. Oh, what a happy dog. Oh, what a happy dog. Yes, sir. Stoney Ridge. Farm, Stoney Ridge. All right, hey guys, welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm. It's garden time. Finally, we're gonna get the garden planted this year. So I just got done weed whacking and mowing all around the garden. You can check out the awesome review I did of the Milwaukee battery powered push mower. Holy cow, that thing ripped through here. There'll be a link at the end of this video if you haven't seen it already. What we've got to do here is plant our garden. I'm going to show you guys what I'm planting in the garden. This is the raised bed garden where we milled up white oak logs and made ourselves some awesome raised beds. How long will they last? I don't know. I hope they last a very long time. We've got some wood defender on here to help protect the wood, but I am seeing some signs of rottage. So let's walk around. We're going to show you the tools we're using, and we're going to show you what we're planting in the garden and how we do it here on the farm. So first things first, let's talk a little bit about this. I've got my electric fence set up. It's all on the ground right now. You'll see it in just a little bit at the end of the video, so stick around. I'll show you how I keep the deer out of the garden. These are the raised beds, and these raised beds still have some of our winter crops, like this awesome thing with worms in it, evidently. When you don't spray, evidently you get worms, but that's cabbage. And I don't care if it's got worms. I'm gonna make sauerkraut in a future video. That's awesome. We've got several heads of cabbage right here that we have to harvest. We had broccoli over here. It's all gone to seed, you can see. We've had kale, all sorts of stuff. The winter garden has totally gone, and it's time to pull it all up and put it in the compost heap right over there. So we'll pull all these weeds out. We'll harvest any usable vegetables like this guy right here. There's a little more down in there. And we've got several cabbage heads right here. So we've got sauerkraut coming very soon, and we've just got to get this garden squared away. It's a disaster. Every year it's a disaster. Here's what I did, the thing that worked the most to make my garden ready to plant without having to dig all this stuff out. I took my old Amazon boxes and I layered them over top of the garden beds. When I did that, it stopped the weed growth and it made the soil better. Next year, that's what I'm gonna do. All winter long, I'm just gonna cover my beds up. This year, we planted a winter garden and we've got lots of weeds in here, but we've also got lots of awesome, good soil for the garden this year. So, we got rain on the forecast tomorrow. It's supposed to rain about 1 inch. We're gonna get our garden in the ground. We don't have to water it. We'll let Mother Nature take care of it for us. Now, onward and upward to the tools that we're gonna be using today. This is a cart from Chore. It's a battery-powered cart. It's a motorized cart, and that is a Chore motorized wheelbarrow. You'll see that in a second. Basically, it has an on-off switch right here. We simply turn it on. We have a trigger, and we just pull the trigger, and it pulls you with it. Want to go reverse, hit that button and back up, just like so. So we can take our plants down through here without breaking our backs, and we have a nice cart that we can use in the garden. Very, very cool. This is the Chore wheelbarrow, and it's basically the same thing. I've got some stouter tires on here. I opted for solid tires. There's a little motor and a little battery in there, and this Chore is super strong, can be stored outside, charges up really quickly, and for that person in your family that might have back troubles or may have a little trouble pushing a wheelbarrow, all we have to do is let it drive itself. It just drives itself. I'm going uphill right now with a load of grass. Super cool. Chore Warrior. There'll be a link down in the video description, and that's what we're gonna use to get all this debris over in the compost heap. First things first, we're gonna get this cabbage out of here. Reach down, pull the cabbage up, and we're gonna break it off, maybe. There we go. Set that to the side, and this is our cabbage head. Let's just take a look and see how bad not spraying your cabbage will do for you. Chickens will love some of this too. We'll take some of this over to the chickens. If we had adult chickens, we'd take all of it to our adult chickens. Let's see. It's looking pretty good. I just had some caterpillar manure on there. I think we're gonna be okay. I think this head's good to go. Yeah, might have a little wormage in there. We'll take a look at it when we get ready to make our sauerkraut. I think I have 4 or 5 heads of this. This is awesome. Growing this, all I had to do was stick some cabbage seeds in the ground and bam, that's what I got. Isn't that awesome? I'm kind of hungry. We gotta take these up, get them in the fridge. Birdie birdies. Let's see what the chickens do with this. Hey birdies. There we go, let's tear it up. Hey guys. Look at that. Here's some more. And your water is full, but you don't have any water. Well, let's figure that out. Jiggle, jiggle. Sometimes it just takes a little jiggle, jiggle. Don't worry, kids. Gobble up. Let's show you what we're planting in the garden this year real quick. Right here on the Chore Warrior cart, we've got some sweet bell peppers, some green ones, and some yellow ones. I like multiple colors. This is pickling cucumbers right here. Turn it on around. We've got more bell peppers, and we've got Mr. Stripey, which is a really cool type of tomato. It has a orange and yellow stripe. One of my favorite types of tomatoes. We got big boys, we got better boys, and these are all from a local nursery. And green, what's that say? German Johnson, there we go. All these grew on my porch and they got really leggy, they got really tall, but they'll blossom out right here, and we'll actually probably bury these up just a little deeper than you typically need to. No matter what, if you bury a tomato plant, it's gonna sprout roots all the way up the stem, so it's all good. We can bury them down short and they'll get better growth with more root growth from the stems. Let's get busy. We'll get you a little time lapse cleaning this up. From something that looked like that to that takes about 4 minutes. Raised beds are awesome. Let me tell you about the raised beds and what they are. This is a true 2 by 8 by 12. These are 24 inches high. So you got 2 boards, one 12 inch, one 12 inch, true 24 inches high, 8 foot long by 4 foot wide. So basically I just took one of these boards, sliced it in half, and made the end boards. In here we have some topsoil or soil that I've built over the years, and up underneath there, it's awesomeness, total awesomeness. Throughout the year, I'll chuck worms in there, and actually right there is an earthworm. You can see earthworms all through this. This is really, really top-notch soil that I've built over the years here on the farm. It grows up like this, and that's okay. However, if we'd have done our Amazon box trick, we wouldn't have had to do that. Maybe saved us 4 minutes per bed. There are 9 beds here. So I know exactly how many plants to plant, and basically we're at an 8-foot length right here. We're gonna plant our plants about every 16 inches. We're gonna get a little close to the edge right here so that the bush kind of bushes out over the edge. Then we'll have one in the middle, and then we'll have one on the other end. So actually rows of 4. So 8 foot. We're not really square foot gardening. This is a lot of tomato plants. This will be enough for me to can tomatoes, have juice, canned tomatoes, sauces, everything. I mix them all together. So these are Mr. Stripey, and I'm gonna put Mr. Stripey all in one, okay? I've got 8 Mr. Stripeys. Here's what I do. Give them a squeeze, 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 squeeze. I'll slide my fingers in right here. I'll flip up, and I'll pat them on the booty. And when I do that, typically, they'll release. There we go, a little booty pat. Out they come. They are root bound. That's what this means, root bound. Okay, I want to lay them out basically where I'm going to place them. So again, about every 16 inches. 3, 4, give it a little more room right there. And then we'll do the next one. Now, I just so happen to have a double right here. That's okay. I'm not really worried about that. Squeeze, 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 just like that. Pat it on the booty. Out it comes. Good to go. Set these where they're going to go in their perspective spot. You want it nice and even and organized. It's just smart to do it that way. I'll go ahead and get one of these in the ground. Like I was telling you earlier, we can bury these up pretty deep and not worry about a thing, okay? I don't need a shovel in this good soil. All I need is to stick my hands in there and bury these guys up. It's still moist down in there, which is awesome. When you build good topsoil or good garden soil, it's really hard to beat. So let me tell you how I've built this garden soil as I plant these maters. And I'll come back over here and I'm sure to label all of my tomatoes when I plant them. And I have video record of when I planted them, but I want to be sure that I label this bed Mr. Stripey so that I don't forget. You can tell, but it's neat to watch them grow and observe how they grow. The way that I built this garden soil was I stop the tree guys whenever I see them out there working, cutting up trees and chipping brush and debris. The Asfun tree guys are great, and if you can hook up with a local nursery or a local landscape person, you can get all the free tree debris, mulch, wood chips like this that you ever would want. Every year, I put a little more wood chips in here, and sometimes I'll go and I'll get some potting soil from my local supply store, like Lowe's or whatever, the big box store, wherever it's the cheapest. I'll put that in here, and my local municipality also has compost, and I'll go get compost from my local municipality. If you don't know it, your local town probably has compost. If they offer leaf litter pickup, they have compost, guys, and you need to take that compost and use it in your garden. Either till it in or build a soil pile like I have over there. We're gonna be building a greenhouse very soon on the farm. It's gonna be super cool. So that's tomatoes. That's how I plant my tomatoes. Virtually do the same thing with my green peppers. And you'll have to stay tuned for a future video as we plant our cucumbers and our squash. And I'm gonna show you some cool tips and tricks on how to raise cucumbers. So the next thing we gotta do is we've got to show you guys how we keep the deer out of the garden, because that's the most important thing. We're out here in the country and deer are a huge problem. I'm gonna build the deer fence real quick on time lapse, and I'll walk you around and show you exactly what it is. Three minutes and I got the fence built. That's how simple, that's how easy, and it's not very intrusive. As you can see, you really can't hardly see it. However, the deer see it, and the deer have trouble negotiating a three-dimensional object. So I'm gonna walk you around here, but first I'm gonna show you the type of post that I use. This is called a pigtail post. It's from Strain Right. It's available at farmfencesolutions.com. Very cool. You can buy them in packs of 10. They're super cheap. I think they're around $2 to $3 a pop. 1 pack will do your garden, okay? 1 pack will do your garden. So we're talking very, very inexpensive. I'm using a product called Polybraid. Let's pop you off the tripod here and show you. This is Polybraid, and Polybraid is simply an electrified wire, poly wire. It's stretchable, okay? See how I can pull on it? See how it's a little saggy? There's a little droop here, a droop there. So the way this works is I step my step-in post in right here. I just step it in. It just sets in the ground, and then I have my other post somewhere in the neighborhood of 32 to 36 inches. Well, even 16 inches works, 16 to 32 inches apart. We want to trick the deer with a 3-dimensional object here. So they are trying to jump over and they see the second line. They don't know what to do. That's what the deal is. So we do 2 rounds of fence all the way around the garden. And you see spacing is okay. A little bit of a sag is okay. If it starts to sag too much, all we got to do is take our poly wire and just wrap it around the post a couple times. Takes the sag completely out. Just that simple. This is the most simple fence anybody could build, and it's what contains my cows also up in the cow pasture. This is my solar fence charger, and this is a Zariba brand solar fence charger. All I have to do is turn it on to the summer mode, and you have to have it grounded really well. So if you drive a ground rod, or you could just use a post, and that's what I do. I just clip my ground thing onto the post right there, my ground clamp, and that's it. So that's the garden, guys. That's the garden for the year. I'm gonna get busy, get everything planted. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Just wait, we'll be passing by this all the time. Now you know about Chore Warrior. The cart is really cool. The wheelbarrow is really cool, and they also make something for moving equipment around your yard or around, like you say you have a boat or an RV and you need to move it. They also offer a mover for those, or even pull an airplane out of the hangar. Pretty cool stuff. Guys, that's the garden for 2024. Let's get busy planting it. That's the deer fence. I hope you learned something. Tell me what you learned down in the comments, guys. Thank you so much. Hit that like button. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge. Right, buddy? Come here, boy. Right? Good boy. Come on, boy. Give me a hug. Yes, sir. Yes, that's not a hug. Come on. That's a hug. That's a hug. Good boy. All right, yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Poor buddy. He's been hurting. I hate it for him. See y'all. Woo! Well, come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge. These are some cutoffs from last year when I made these raised beds, or the year before last. I gotta haul them down to a burn pile. Oh, hey there, I dropped you. Let's just wipe you clean and keep on going. Don't you know? You betcha.